Amanda.
I'm Ben.
AutoSave, welcome to our channel.
Today we're watching Rascal Does Not Dream of Santa Claus, episode 13. This is the last episode available to us at the moment of the Rascal Does Not Dream series. That's sad.
That is sad. Do you feel sad? Do you feel worried or scared?
I don't feel worried or scared. The fact that there's one episode makes my fear of what's going to happen to my Sakurajima lessen a little bit. If it was just a cliffhanger of, destruction, that would be surprising and horrifying. But because it's the last episode of the series, I feel a little bit of a safety net.
I think that you've made me feel better with that kind of reminder and realization. Well, you have to have, right? You would have a resolution to these things I'm worried about within this last episode. You wouldn't end things traumatically and then not give me a resolution and just have me maybe wait, and the idea of like, would I even possibly get an answer in the future? So I think that does make me feel a little less worried going into this episode. I don't really want to see anything bad happen to Mai. I'm worried about what's going on with Toko, sure. I'm hoping Fukuyama will complete his homework, and I do have faith that he will. I really, really want him to have completed his homework. And so, yeah, I'm going to go into this not as worried anymore, so thank you.
Yep, I'm with you.
In other news, I drew a little something for Rascal Does Not Dream, and I hope you enjoy.
Wow.
Gonna go help him?
Thank you, Mai. Kumi Akagi.
Coming with him?
Yeah.
I believe in this team up. I like it. I love all the sound effects.
I know, right?
It makes me
the
feel
one
like
in the train really had me freaking out.
Makes me feel like I'm actually on a train or in a plane.
Taking the trophy with us. What do you think Fukuyama will think of it? Oh.
She threw out her life as Nene. Is that serious? Can he even read it? Is there any writing on it for him?
He can touch so much of it, you know? Has he remembered? Oh my god!
It's because of how strong the attachment and feelings are. Oh my god. How heartbreaking.
Like, what? It feels like, what's wrong with you? How could you have forgotten?
It was worth coming here for sure.
俺はどうすればいいと思う？彼女を救えるのは福山の愛の力だけだよ。1年近くも忘れてた俺に愛を語る資格があるかね。
Am I qualified to talk?
妻になかったら多分
I don't think anyone would be.
だからちゃんとしろ。取り戻して死ぬほど叱られればいい。ねえねえ、怒ると怖いんだよな。
Good.
告白した時も返事の前に遅いって怒られたのよ。僕に落ちた時は現役の時はなんでって泣かれた。無理しなくていいからって優しくされたな。ほんと有名人だったんだよ。時々東京に呼ばれてモデルの仕事をしてさ。
I wonder if that's why he was so compelled to Sakuta in the first place.
コンテ登竜門だろ。だからすごく喜んでた。昨日歌が話題になってさ、霧島東子に似てるとか本物みたいとか言われて。
Just like she was the real thing.
今は自分が霧島東子だって言ってるし、本人はそう信じてるわけか。
How you might feel to realize that you weren't able to be there for her during this time.
So she is just one of many.
違っただけだろう、福山と。だからまだ何とでもなる。そうかもな。俺、ねねのことが好きだわ。ねねのことが好きだわ。それは明日彼女に言ってくれ。赤城はさ、
何？
彼女のこと聞いてどう思った？
あることなんだと思った。あずさ川くんにもあったでしょ。自分が見つからなかった分を見失ったりしたこと。
あったな。
幼稚園に通っていた頃に友達のお母さんから「いくみちゃんはいい子だね」って言われた。それが嬉しくて、また褒めてもらいたくて。
You wanted to be that good girl.
中学に上がった頃にはみんなから真面目すぎるって笑われたけど、
そうだったな。
それを自分らしさだと思えたから。
Oh,
あの頃は生きづらさなんて感じたことはなかった。
たった一言のいい子だね。
Wow.
one thing being said, just shaping your entire identity. Mm.
あずさ川、そこどいて。
He has a key.
出たのか。そりゃ彼氏ですから。
What?
俺だけど入っていいよな。
Acting so normal, you know?
は？
Oh.
本人も
Like all of her's gone.
格好してるからあってもビビるなよ。
Does this mean Miori's Toko at this point? Like, it's gotta, right?
俺が前に来た時はもちろんこんな部屋じゃなかったのよ。ってあって。
Oh no! Maya's on the computer screen!
ね、まさか本気で桜島さんに何かするつもりじゃないよな。
Would the person you love really be willing to do something?
前に元町行った時は車を借りてた。ねねなら車かも。駅前にカシャがある。
He knows habits of hers. He knows choices she might make.
赤木、後で払うから頼んだ。
Like Sakta using what he saw of the dream to find Sara.
Yeah. Oh my
Oh
god.
my god. Oh my god.
バカ、福山。話を聞いてくれ。
驚いた。君にも私が見えてるんだ。
じゃなくて俺だよ。匠だ。
誰？
本当にわからないんだな。
君の知り合いは何を言っているの？
She's just
彼は
Toko.
福山匠です。岩見沢ねねさんの恋人の。
ちは何一つわからないんだけど。何度も言うけど。
She has no desire to try to understand either.
Not anymore.
わかったよ。
She doesn't even like hear you
ねね
out.
がそう言うんならそうなんだろうな。信じるよ。ちょっとでいいから俺に時間をくれない？ねねがくれたものなんだよ。付き合ってから初めての誕生日に。で5度目の冬だからな。
物持ちがいいんだ。
俺巻いていったし。
ご利益はあった？
現役の時は失敗した。1年浪人して2度目もしたらねねのやつ縁起が悪いからもう捨てろって言い出してさ。
But
大喧嘩にな
no.
った。
You didn't want to throw it away.
っていう思い出話もやっぱりわからないんだな。
君の彼女の話でしょ？
Why would she remember what your
来て
girlfriend
ねねの
would?
部屋に泊めてもらったことも覚えてない。
わからない。
あずさ川に聞いたよ。新しいマフラー買ってくれてたって。空港まで私に来てくれたのに気づけなくてごめん。だから俺のことをわからなくていいよ。俺も忘れられて当然だと思うけど、もう忘れない。ネネが俺のことを分かってくれるまで諦めない。
さっきからこれは何の話？もう時間だから。
1年近くも忘れてたから、もうネネに振られてるのかな。だったらもう一度
Oh my god! I love his hood going up.
I know he's late, but come on.
ネネのことが好きだから。
嘘言わないで。
嘘じゃない。
ないじゃない。
本当だよ。
こんなみっともない私のどこが好きだって言えるのよ。
Pathetic person like me.
本番で上京してきて。でも
Oh my god!
てるだけの名ばかりのモデルで、私ならできると思ってた。何かになれると思ってた。もう結局はこのありさま。負け犬の私がなれたのは。
Was a fake Toko Kirishima.
She's just been alone in all of Nene's thoughts.
なんだな。
All this time.
私のこと笑ってよ、匠。
He wouldn't.
何者でもなかった私を笑って。
笑えるわけないだろ。
これ以上構わないで。霧島東子になるしか私にはないの。
俺はネネを好きになったんだ。ネネのままのネネを。
私のままの私って何？
Who is me? What is my identity?
自分らしさが分かってたら苦労しない。人より恵まれてるって思いたい。こんなにみっともなくても何者かであるって思いたいの。
ちゃんと自分のことを分かってるじゃないですか。今のが岩見沢さんらしさですよ。他になりたいならこれから勝手になればいい。アナウンサーでも何でも自分には何もないっていうのはさすがに思い上がりなんじゃないですか。
どういう意味？
福山がいるじゃないですか。別に思ってくれる自分の大切な人がいるじゃないですか。
Is he nothing?
そういう人を負け犬なんて言わないでしょ。愛されてるんですから。
たいのはそれで全部？
はい。
顔でそれ言う？愛されてるって君に言われるのははっきり言って尺だけど、考え方ができれば人生ってもう少しかもしれない。
Life would be a bit more fun if I could think like that.
とりあえず今は匠で我慢する。
よかった。
ほら立って。
赤城にも見えるのか。
見えるよ。笑ってる。
Oh my god!
サンタクロースは。
じゃあこれで一件落着だな。
多分まだ終わりじゃない。霧島東子は私の他
And
Yeah!
that means they all might have the same idea about
Oh my
Mai.
god, look at how fucking cute Mai looks. Do you see this? This is the figure I want, Anna.
How many miniskirt Santa Clauses were about to show up here?
How many can even be seen?
Mm.
You know what I mean?
It's like an invisible army.
Can we say one thing or do one thing that will make them
All of them.
all shown at once?
We can't bring all of their boyfriends. We don't even know if they have them. Oh my
What?
god.
So if my
見えないのか。
oh shit, only Sakuta can see them?
どこ？
あそこにも。
There's guys, there's like
ここにもいる。
so many people.
こんなにたくさんいるの？
多分100人はいる。
At least
この
100.
度交通安全の今一度の周知のため、安全意識、事故防止の重要
This
性
is
を
scary.
強く
And she can't even see this crowd.
不幸にも事故に遭ってしまった際、
There could be a stampede, like there could be injuries
Oh
that
my
people
god,
don't even.
yeah.
An overflow
This
of a
makes
crowd
so
that you
much
can't even
sense
see.
as to why something would fall.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh, Sakuta!
Oh!
大丈夫です。皆さん、落ち着いてください。大丈夫です。
Saying it directly to the Santa Clauses.
Oh, that's a fucking lot of blood.
大丈夫。
That's so much blood. Kicking her shoes off to catch him. They are all seen now.
なんで双葉がいるんだって昨日言ったよね舞さんはで事情を聞かれてるなんか変な国
Yeah, I like seeing them together.
だったらもう一人いるよ
サクタあんまヒヤヒヤ
Kunimi? Oh my god!
しく見てもらってくれ
That's amazing.
こんなに早く国あるとはな
So quickly. Really giving him worry in his adult job.
Yeah, but he's so handsome.
大丈夫なのか異常なししばらく休んだら帰っていいってさ
だったら私たちは邪魔になるし帰るね
来たばっかりなのに
She has a lot of work to do to her room.
から行くねで平気
平気じゃないか妹来たし
お兄ちゃん何やってんの
心配かけて悪かった
運ばれてる時点で問題大ありだからあいたさきたぜ
なんでここにいるんだ
Everyone.
楓ちゃんに聞いたの姫路さんに話したら休憩時間に病院に行くって言い出したから
てか古賀と姫路さんこそ大丈夫かって1時間だろ
やば急いで戻らなきゃそうですか
They can't. They're so quick just to see him.
ちゃんはここで待ってて舞さん車でこっちにも
This is wild.
Wow.
痛む
だいぶ良くなった抱き留めてくれたから地面にまで頭打たずに済ん
That
で
could have been bad.
守ってあげるって言ったでしょ
Hitting it again after the initial injury.
Oh my god, yeah.
どうなったの
クタを見て正気に戻って警察が一人ずつ事情を聞いてるところ同じことを言ってるって
同じこと
Amnesia.
自分を霧島
They all thought they were Toko.
だから私が霧島東子だっていう噂を気にしてきたみたい何かをしようと思っていたわけではなくて
They didn't want to cause the harm.
警察の人たちも気味悪がってた
I
Rightfully
get it.
so.
でもとに
I
か
think I
く
have a new fear.
それは
Invisible crowds.
No, just a lot of Santa in one place.
のどかが言いたいことがあるって言ってた
Everyone's getting mentioned.
心配かけんな
That makes
豊
sense.
浜は心配してくれなかったのか
したよお兄さん
Zuki.
心配で3つしか食べられなかったんだから
Only
食べ
3.
れば十分だろズッキー
お姉ちゃんを守ってくれてありがとう
Mhm.
やたらと知り合いに会ったから
Everyone cares about you.
だったけど会えたいい日だったのかもね
確かにいい日だったのかもしれない
A good day where you got to see everyone.
Look at the ring. What are we gonna see?
Some of the dreams come true, maybe?
佐川くんも受かったんだ
The
You're an
one
enigma.
person that we didn't see.
キリって何者なんだろうな
You know?
あずさ川はどんな人だと思う
歌が上手い人だと思う
この人ふざけてるわ
Don't end. Wait.
Wait, wait,
Why?
wait, 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 wait,
Why?
wait, knapsack?
Why knapsack? What?
I almost thought Miori got hit by a car.
Back to the discussion. You thought she got hit by a car?
Yeah, I got really scared there at the very end.
Okay, that was Rascal Does Not Dream of Santa Claus, episode 13. I'm a fool. I'm a foolish man sitting here in this chair, fucking thinking, okay, I might be onto something. Miori, karaoke, maybe Miori Toko, but mostly because Miori, interesting character, knows a lot, and there's no resolution, so there has to be a connecting tissue for Miori to the rest of the plot that's going on, but no. It's fucking Rascal Does Not Dream series. And do you know what that means? We're getting things planted. It doesn't even fucking matter where, because they're being planted just for them to be followed up on later.
Yes.
Does this mean another world's going to be gone to again? Because knapsack? Does this mean that I'm so excited.
Okay.
I'm so happy, but I'm genuinely astounded and so happy that the Miori and then even bigger, the Toko Kirishima thing has not been found, has not been settled on, has not been answered. I honestly to be transparent, was a little scared of it. Because then it's like, okay, well, what comes next? I'm excited for what comes next, but there's an end. There's an end there.
Right, getting an answer, getting a resolution. If getting to know who Toko actually is even important to the plot,
yes,
that then would be over.
And as the last few episodes have gone on, how extravagant this issue is, how problematic and widespread it seemed to be and ended up being once that was happening and coming to fruition. Once we saw all of the Santa Clauses, I was like, I hope it's not wrapped up here.
I would think it would need to you'd need to have a resolution or else this will happen again. That would be my fear. If there is always going to be this anonymous Toko that people can latch their identity onto and people are still trying to figure out who it is, then inevitably more people might end up dressed up as Santa Claus thinking that they're Toko, right?
And you know what? You know what this means?
What does this mean?
She could be dead. Toko could be dead.
Toko could be dead.
It still lives, baby. It still lives.
I think your theory that Miori Mito is Toko has so much legs to stand on, especially based on how this episode ended.
No, you see?
Miori's... What, you think it's a trick? It's a trick?
No, it only had it had so much legs to stand on because it was the only thing that needed to be closed out. Now it's a red herring. Oh. Now it's Miori. We assume it to be Miori because it's the only thing that hasn't been answered. What are we gonna see next? Another movie, and it's gonna be great and make me cry, and Toko's not gonna be dead? It could be anything. It could be anything, and I'm so happy. I'm so excited.
It really could be anything. I think that something you could bring up for that thought is also what day we end this Rascal Does Not Dream of Santa Claus off on. We don't even get to see for sure that Mai, in fact, goes the route of Sakuto's dream, or if she does what we think she's going to do, which is say she's not Toko.
It doesn't matter. The Sara thing didn't follow course. This isn't going to follow course. It didn't follow course. Sakuto jumped in front of Mai, and things are different.
But I feel like if she does, in fact, I guess you could say that things aren't going to go as the dreams went. Therefore, Mai will probably reiterate to everyone in this crowd, I'm not Toko. But then the issue with that I see is the continuation of the Santa Clauses. Is
what
the
if
continuation of people thinking that they're Toko because their identity gets wrapped up in wanting to be a somebody instead of a nobody like they think they are.
What if Toko's two different people in two different worlds? Like, what if in the Sakuta world, Toko is is Miori, and in this one, Toko isn't Miori? Or what? Could that even happen? Could that be plausible?
Toko identity actually is shared between
No, it
different
isn't
people?
shared, but what if it's a common thought? What if it's an identical thought two people have had and two names people have separately conjured and come up with at the same identical time? All the doors are open, and I cannot express my gratitude right now because this means anything can happen. I thought that I thought I had it. I thought I might have it, but now it can be anything.
I did go into this episode feeling like I knew to some extent how it was going to wrap up.
Show.
And now I feel like I get you in terms of I don't really know at all what could come next. How they've ended this off, I'm I feel like there needs to be more, but not necessarily more on the same plot line, just more with the characters.
Yeah.
But then again, I still have some questions because we end off seeing Knapsack Kid and we end off with that whole Toko is still being brought up as an unknown, and I'm do we actually need to know who this is plot-wise? But Knapsack Kid at the very end.
As much as I don't want to admit it, I'm human. As much as I don't want to admit it, I end up feeling certain things that end up being popular opinions that a lot of people I know have. Oh, maybe Marvel burnout is a real thing. Maybe I haven't felt the same energy as I used to at the end of, Thor 1 to see what the post-credit scene was going to be or Iron Man 1, and the idea of seeing the Avengers pile up or having that feeling. I still enjoy them. I'm not going to go that far, but nothing has hit me like seeing a Knapsack Kid in a reflection of an episode. I'm so happy.
I'm sorry that I got scared at the very end there.
Oh, it's fine. It's par for the course.
Miori walked into the street. Obviously, we're getting the idea of traffic accidents, police chief for the day. Mai could be in an accident. Obviously, previous things we've seen within this series in terms of cars equal death. So her walking into the street here while Sakuta's looking elsewhere, paying attention to something else, and then what seems to be a car or a bus going by, I immediately like froze in my chair a little bit, like
What's
immediately
wrong with
freaked
me?
out.
I love seeing Sakuta be freaked the fuck out now. Like it's I love it. I love it so much. And
It's so messed up.
it's so great.
I love seeing his freaked out face.
Which is crazy because like my favorite part of this series, time and time again, is just how they write emotions and how they write the characters. And they're not stupid, and they're so emotionally developed, and they have like their feelings are so well thought out. But then at the other side of the table, I'm sitting there being like, I see you, Sakuta, and I see you freaked out, and I see you like, what the fuck's going on? And you know what? That means I can feel like what the fuck's going on, because that's what I'm feeling too, and then we can share it together.
So it's like a sign of like, there's an excitement there because this character's feeling freaked out. That means you guys together will get to join, and that means there will be more to come. That means there's more to share in terms of entertainment.
Part of the reason that so many people are into cryptozoology is because after you've lived on this earth, you might want to feel like there is something more that we haven't been able to explain about this world. Something further. You know, there are theories out there that have yet to be proven that have certain project names that I'm not going to get into that can connect several universes 6 to 8 into one, and that's like an exploration of the mind that people end up wanting to have, and because of them just being bored with what life is. And all I need is to have some fucking weird thing like a younger Mai Sakurajima knapsack kid appear in reflections out of the corner of my eye just to fucking keep me on my toes. I don't need cryptids. I just need like something to let me know this might not be the only world that I'm living in.
I mean, cryptids, like, just even bringing up that idea with the conversation of adolescent syndrome and this thing that people are experiencing, and yet so many people deny it and or can't see it for themselves, and deny it because they cannot see it for themselves or haven't seen the proof for themselves until they do. I also feel a bit alive right now. I also feel a bit like almost like sad in the way where you're not actually really sad, but you're like, aw, it's over, you know? Like,
I have no idea what's to come. There is not another episode available to us on Crunchyroll. I don't know if it's going to be more episodes like a season, or if it's going to have the same kind of structure that we're going to watch a movie next.
Okay. I was going to say that I'd imagine it be structured like how Bunny Girl Senpai and then Santa Claus, how we will have 13 or so episodes, and there will be like an overall kind of person that is maybe the focus plot-wise of that series, and through that we will also be exploring other people's adolescent syndromes possibly, because we had this idea kind of ending off, you know, Bunny Girl Senpai, that this isn't something that is going to be disappearing for good. It's not like Sakuta will no longer be involved with other people's issues and other people's adolescent syndromes. I mean, we also have had dialogue within the series that like, oh, once you get older and you're in college, is it going to be a bit more rare that people are experiencing what they are? And for that, I would then say, okay, well, if it's going to be more rare, and we've seen a lot of our characters experience things now, does that mean we definitely would need to change things a lot to be able to do another section of this series?
We take a complete pivot. We go to like godlike entities that are pissed off. They, you know, feel like adolescent syndrome is a necessity within the world, and they see Sakuta is solving too many. He's helping too many people. He has issue with Sakuta. He created Rascal Does Not Dream of Santa Claus as the series itself to introduce the concept of Toko Kirishima, to inevitably implant the idea of memories of a dream, memories within dreams, going through Koga to warn us about Mai Sakurajima's inevitable incident that she's going to have, only because that entity is able to assume that Sakuta is going to step in to risk himself in hopes that Sakuta would die. And he didn't. He didn't die because guess what? Mai caught his head. Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry. I'll be more grounded from now, but I'm having a lot of fun. That was awesome. That was a great episode, though.
I'm gonna grab onto something within sifting through what you just said. which is bringing up kind of dreaming and dreams. And that is something that I haven't brought up yet within this discussion of how that is not necessarily over with, right? Trying to think of what is to come or what could be coming next in the writing. Most of our characters have had a direct experience with the puberty syndrome now, with the adolescent syndrome now. Therefore, would we really have another series where it's just new characters and meeting new people? Totally could. But I feel like the dreaming aspect, the fact that people were having these prophetic dreams and the people that did not have them on a specific night were gonna die, I would say that still
But
could
now
be...
there's been a dream about there has been an instance of somebody who didn't have a dream who survived. So narratively, it's unpredictable.
Oh.
Narratively, it fucking doesn't matter, and it matters all the same. Narratively, we are on a new plane of existence.
You're so
because
right to bring
they can do anything
you.
they want. They can do anything they want.
Once you have one person survive past not having a dream, two actually, because I would imagine all of the people that thought they were Toko, so actually hundreds of people possibly didn't have a dream and have all survived to this day.
We've
so
knocked
really,
the fence
you're
over,
so
baby.
right.
There's a new world. There's a new world out there.
That probably means that the person that Fukuyama had experience with that had passed away in his childhood, that it was not connected at all to the fact that he didn't have a dream and people were just connecting it out of fear.
I'm so excited. This is going to be a great series to even rewatch.
Mm-hmm.
I am so excited. But okay, take a second.
Okay, take a second.
This episode is phenomenal. I really, really loved a lot of this episode. I like the sound design quite a bit, and the travel aspect, the first 2-3 minutes of the episode a lot, just coming right out of the gate. But what really blew me away was just everything Fukuyama in this episode. What they chose not to overkill in terms of I feel like a lot of shows would just be there's so many potential parallels and similarities between Fukuyama and Sakuta that we need to put a spotlight on every single one of them to point out how they could be similar, but because they're similar, the differences shine all the more bright. No, we don't need that. It's just so good. I'm so glad that Fukuyama was given the time and attention he was. I'm glad at the subtle details of him crying. I'm glad at the choices of words. I'm glad that he's choosing to make it right off the gate, I'll wait as long as possible. Look at fucking me. I forgot about you.
You had to wait for a year.
Yeah, I forgot about you for a year. What kind of boyfriend does that make me? And he's going right out the gate being well, does that mean that you've broken up with me? Because guess what? Even if you hadn't, I'm going to assume that that's a possibility. And even if you would, I wouldn't hold it against you. But please date me again because I love you.
And that's what got her. That is what got Nene. It was the idea of does that mean that you've dumped me? I'm going to pursue you again.
It's cold in here, and I have hand warmers, and I'm just throwing them. I don't need it. I'm just so heated up by my excitement of Rascal Does Not Dream.
Watching this show is like having built-in hand warmers. If you are cold, watch this show. That's basically what we're learning here. I want to talk a little bit about Fukuyama because obviously he was such a huge part of this episode, and now we know he was a huge part of Rascal Does Not Dream of Santa Claus in general because he was a huge part of Nene's life. And the idea of he doesn't feel qualified to even talk about love or be able to say that he loves this person because of what he's put them through and what he has realized he has forgotten. I love the perspective of his position. It is, as you said, we could bring up the similarities between him and Sakuta. What if Sakuta really had forgotten that bunny girl that he had seen? What if he really wasn't able to see her anymore and had completely forgotten her? How would he feel waking up from that, knowing that he left her alone for a year and had her realizing that their love was not strong enough to overcome this adolescent syndrome in order for him to remember her and see her this entire time? Mm-hmm. Would you definitely feel like you doubt that love? Would you yourself doubt your own love for that person? Surely you'd think Nene would doubt your love, but do you doubt it for a second? If I actually loved this person, would I have been able to see them? You would have thought that love would be able to overcome this, that love would be able to win at the end of the day and make it so you were the one that could see them and could help them. But that wasn't the case. And I love that he was really thinking about his impact here, that he forgot them. He left her alone this entire time. And something else that you could talk about or think about for Fukuyama is it wasn't just this past year that he would feel blame for or would feel bad for. The initial reasons why Nene was even able to grab onto this title of somebody as Toko. There was a lot of deep-seated issues with how she viewed herself that had to be going on to even push her into the position that we meet her within the series.
Thank you.
As a boyfriend, you are finding out that not maybe your partner didn't open up to you about it, or maybe you just didn't notice the signs that they were struggling.
Okay, yes. Okay, and then I want to talk about in your interpretation of, because I think it's fun to explore it. How much, if not all, of Nene was actively not knowing of Nene? You know what I mean? When that pivot of Fukuyama asking her out and her saying why, and that character breaking and her re-acknowledging of who she actually is. Mm-hmm. There is so much purpose and a reason behind why the character of Nene has become so into the idea of Toko, without entirely, even when that bridge of that cloak of, oh, I forgot about my past self and I don't even know who Nene is and all I am is Toko. There is so much reason that character has and doubt that she has in herself that would influence her to remove her to put herself away from herself, to remove her own name from herself, to throw out her own identity because of how she feels about herself. And not only what's so great about it isn't just the feeling, right? And how that a human actually would feel that way. It's how long she's had to feel it in solitude. Mm-hmm. It's God.
It's right. To grab onto something that you had started to say, it made me think of where in this episode are we actually seeing Nene, if at all, seeing Nene realize that she is in fact Nene? When we get all of those other people that thought they were Toko, we are seeing a display of surprise. We're seeing a confusion of why we are located at this police chief for a day event with why they might have thought they were Toko all of this time. There's a lot of confusion and a lot of grasping on in that moment to who they actually are. And with Nene, was there that? But because Fukuyama was right in front of her, we're able to kind of overcome that initial confusion because someone you love, a comfort to you, is right in front of you. Therefore, you're right in the moment working through everything and processing everything because you have the help of the people surrounding you. Or did she never actually completely slip into Toko?
It makes you recontextualize everything, because then you're thinking back to what Sakuta says about that's what she was doing by throwing out the trash. She was throwing out Nene, and it being well, after all this time, she did remember Fukuyama, right? She did make that extra effort with the scarf. And even after throwing everything away, there can still be something there that she's on the line and between the two states, but there's something that is keeping her bound, even if it's something that she is trying to give up. There's something tangible there.
Trying to. Could you say that throwing out Nene is a conscious choice?
Oh my god, yeah. You can't,
throwing out her stuff doesn't have to be a sign that she doesn't recognize it.
Well, that's what Sakuta's point, or at least my initial interpretation was that was her last, that was her throwing out Nene. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Right. I think that you could rewatch this episode and definitely debate with yourself certain moments, facial expression wise, what point, if at all, is she switching from thinking, no, I'm just Toko, to no, actually, I'm Nene, pretending that I've been Toko this entire time. I really love the choice of what we do with her, Nene's facial expressions. I love that we're not afraid to make her seem angry or upset or frustrated or disgusted by just this circumstance, annoyed by this circumstance, because put yourself in her shoes here. If you have been living in a chamber of self-hate, isolated for a year, you're definitely gonna be frustrated by someone else finally coming to you and being like, you're loved, don't try to be someone else, Nene is deserving of love and a place in this world, don't throw her away. You're gonna be annoyed by someone coming to you finally in this display when you've been trying your hardest to grasp onto anything to stay alive.
Yeah, and it could be that. It could be literally a game of tug of war, and it's like in the deciding moments of it being pulled to each side. It could
Are
be.
you gonna be Nene, or are you actually gonna slip completely into thinking you're Toko?
I love how much there is to it. This is the kind of thing that makes me want to rewatch the entire series, and I love it so much. Mm-hmm. It was such a great episode, man.
I like how the actual accident that is supposed to happen to Mai, I like that it's more of an intention versus impact conversation than it is actual like malicious intent.
Yeah.
Like none of these people that thought they were Toko went there to, like, I was expecting pitchforks in a mob. I was expecting that someone would actually trip Mai or would knock something over purposefully in order to cause harm to her. But really, you just have all of these people feeling like they should be here or drawn to this event because this is a person that is claiming to be someone that they view that they are. And so they're just interested. The crowd interacts
the way that it does because it's like, well, there's nobody in front of me, and then they're all going to push and shove and try to get closer to the front. It's going to cause mayhem. Things are going to fall down. It's in line with the dream that we initially got of Koga during the event. Mai falls unconscious in critical condition, taken to the hospital. It's not necessarily within the news that like, oh, it's saying that Mai had an accident. Like, it makes sense. It's not like she got like a stab wound magically appeared. It was an accident.
Right, but you would think with the buildup, someone tripped her, someone knocked something over purposefully. I definitely think that second kind of, if his head had hit the ground and she hadn't caught it, then that would have had him in the same maybe scenario as Mai, unconscious and maybe having to be in the hospital for longer. But because she was able to catch his head in the way that she did, then he comes out of it with a bandaged head, and everyone, even during their work break, comes to visit him.
Were you surprised that Sakuto was able to see all the Santa Clauses? Part of me thought that it might like initially be like an assumption that they're going to be there, because I assumed they'd be there, and then he would do something so he could see, and then I think that part of me assumed that he wasn't going to be able to see all of them, because I was thinking that the only reason he could see Nene was for a reason, whether it be like through Fukuyama at this point or
through the fact that
Miori,
he interacting with Zuki, and the fact that one of the adolescent syndromes was supposedly from given as a gift.
But the idea that he can see them all is fascinating.
It's a superpower, and that's why he inevitably is probably going to make a great counselor or teacher for any kids that are going through this exact thing in their puberty or in their adolescence.
Or there's an otherworldly deity who's out for blood because Sakuta's fixing too many problems.
Or there's a god that will have its day of wrath against Sakuta for fixing all of these problems that it was very excited to be creating, to see how, like TV, see what the humans do when I give them these issues, watch them scramble around and try to fix things themselves. They're powerless.
So, like, obviously there is, to answer a question that's, like, just obvious that we were saying on earlier, I don't want to get the impression that we, like, were entertaining fully the idea that, that Toko Kirishima, Nene, could have been seen this entire time. An important moment of this episode to show us where a distinction was happening was not only Fukuyama seeing her, but it was obviously Akumi Akagi seeing her, right? Like, the acceptance of being a girlfriend again, and then Akumi Akagi's re-entrance into the scene to be able to see Nene and identify her was a massive point, and that was a standout in terms of appearance. And I do want to make that point before I go on to compliment Akumi Akagi once again. I loved her this episode. I loved her interaction with Futaba. I loved her being there.
Okay, multiple things. I agree with you. I love that we have her interact with Futaba, because I'm pretty sure Futaba had some dialogue a couple episodes ago thinking that whatever Akagi had said to Sakuta was interesting to her. So therefore having those two minds together is so cool, and I love that Kunimi being a part of that scene as well is great. But what Akagi brought to the table, other than the fact that she was actually super involved in this,
arranging things.
She was arranging things, and not only arranging things, but she wanted to be there and come with because she's the messenger.
Calling her parents right when she gets off the plane, that is a good girl thing to do,
Right, and so that's the other thing I wanted to talk about for her, is that kind of, that we start to get the picture of how we frame our identities and how we kind of come up with our identities, and at such a young age, how that really actually starts to form, and how that could even start to get muddied in terms of like how we even view our value as people, control what our identity is or should be, and how that might not actually be the case, and therefore how easy or scary it could be to actually lose sight of that. Who really are you? It all started with just one phrase that someone said to her, which was that she was a good girl at such a young age. And from appreciating the feeling that she felt upon being called a good girl in that moment, it made her want to continue to be that, to continue to have that praise and continue to be looked at in that way. But when she gets older, it starts to be looked at in a different way. When she enters middle school, she starts to get laughed at. People start to think she's a little too serious.
See,
and yet, so like her idea of what her identity is starting
it's
to
lost
change.
the time.
It's
like
lost the time.
Because like the idea of doing good things to be rewarded by being complimented and saying that you're a good girl so often throughout your life that you begin to think that that was you being yourself by the time that you're in middle school, it gives so much like respect to what time does to actions and what time does to initial intentions by doing things. It shapes it. It warps it into different things, and those things and what they're warped into have consequences.
I feel like I resonated immensely with Akagi's kind of bringing up of how the shaping of identity even works. I mean, I'm not a model working for an agency that's trying to hope to get gigs in the same way that Nene was yet, but just the idea of the good girl aspect, the growing up wanting to be a certain way because adults in your life were praising you to be that way, and or it seemed like their lives were easier or happier because of the way that you were acting, and that shaping your identity. I definitely was subject to that in terms of how I formed what I thought was my identity. How I lived was the hope of being someone that was just a safe place that wasn't gonna cause any issues. I wanted to be that good kid, and therefore in my life that good person that was gonna always be there for someone and was never gonna cause waves in other people's lives. And then when I actually had issues, you know, that is where it starts to be a test of like, who really are you? Are you allowed to have issues? No, I'm not allowed to have anything wrong with me ever. And if I do have something wrong with me, I have to do it all by myself and then not let anyone know that anything was ever wrong with me. And I really resonated with how that formed for Akagi.
I thought that it was great. Like I don't know why, but this episode start to finish was like perfection to me. It was like every piece of dialogue felt absolutely necessary and enlightening and reinforcing characters.
And just getting to see the entire cast, and like we've already said, seeing different characters interacting with each other. I love that even though Sara and Koga had such a short break to be able to get to the hospital from Benny's, they still did it in order to check up on him because they were worried about him. That everyone would want to be here for him. Everyone cares about him, and he is so incredibly loved as a character by his cast. It is really fulfilling as a viewer watching the show that we have a care for this character, Sakuta. We see the good that he is bringing into other people's lives in this world, but it is another level of special when we as viewers can see that the other characters within the cast recognize his value and are able to feel about him. Like sometimes when you have a character that is written very beautifully, someone that is just a really good person, or at least is trying to be a good person, trying to care for other people, oftentimes things within how they're written or how other characters interact with them make the viewer feel like, I want to be defensive and protective of this person. Like, I don't think people are appreciating them enough, or they don't recognize the work that this character is putting in, or how sensitive or how special this person really is, and what's actually going on internally the way that we do. But I feel like this is just a great display for the viewer. Like, look, this entire cast of characters
cares about him, and he did so much for these people.
While they'll make fun of him for how he says things, like, oh, it's kind of weird when you say you're loved. Ugh.
Yeah. Can I tell you my like tinfoil hat theory about what you just said?
Okay.
So the idea of like Sakuta even bringing it up at the end of the episode, he's like, I came across a whole lot of people I know, and Mai is saying like, yeah, you got hit in the head, but like maybe today's a good thing. So like, I'm like, okay, the funny like obvious observation is like Sakuta not observing that you came across majority of these people because they care about you and are worried about you. What if that's adolescent syndrome? What if in hitting your head and we see, you know, Knapsack Kid at the end. What if it's like another Toko Kirishima red herring, and it's not like about Toko at the moment, but in hitting his head, talking to all these Santa Clauses, and recovering in the way that he did, there's something that he has developed that he can't acknowledge what, like, why, or put two and two together why people wouldn't be like there for him for any other reason other than just coming across him.
Is he slightly disconnected from the reality in the way of like he doesn't view the reciprocations of the feelings. He doesn't view how they might feel about himself. Okay. I think that, I like that. I like that he might have issue or struggle with truly feeling like he can understand or see or feel that these other people genuinely care about him, and it's more just like, oh yeah, a bunch of random
obviously
people that
just
I know.
that, but like to go crazy with it, you know?
Go crazy with it, Knapsack Kid could be some form of like his anxiety fleshed out as a imagery that he sees. Like if you are think about it as this, as I start to kind of give you this imagery to think about it as. If you are Sakta and you are constantly, for all that we've seen in this series, having to deal with these crazy things that no one else can see, and that could even result in possible death of characters. This the amount of stress, the amount of high stakes that you've been having to deal with, not fully by yourself, but to some extent you are the only person that can really be helpful or could really see what's going on. And if you're continuously going through this, then you're just going to continue to wait for another shoe to drop. Once everything is cleared up and resolved and you've saved Mai, you're not gonna feel like a threat is never gonna come again. Yeah. So seeing Knapsack Kid, sure, is it a sign that something more is to come? I would think so.
What
as
if
a viewer.
He swapped places with the other Sakuta? Not actually that. What if he like is like more in line with a different Sakuta now? What if he's fundamentally changed?
What if you have to help a Mai and a Sakuta in a different kind of timeline or world because there's a threat to a different...
Now that one Sakuta has helped you, technically, you now have to help another.
Yeah, but what I'm bringing up is like he's never going to be able to feel, at least right now, like there's not a threat, or like he's not gonna see something, or that something he sees is not possibly a sign of disaster to come. He is going to be a little bit on edge and a little bit ready. And so what we could be seeing there is just him feeling like in a moment that everything's okay, and then being like, but wait, what if it's not? Because something always happens.
It's like, regardless of if he had any other motive than that, just the ending of this episode with the Toko Kirishima being like, well, I don't know, and it coming from Miori is enough to be like on edge, you know?
Yeah.
It's enough.
It is enough. I
am so happy right now. I'm so sad now though too, because I don't know what I'm gonna do. Mm-hmm. I know what we're gonna do. Like we have planned next Monday that we are going to be starting a new show, as well as later this week we are going to be starting a new show that you and I picked out of shows that we had already put on polls in the past, as well as coming up we're going to be doing another poll. But in terms of Rascal Does Not Dream series, I am quite depressed and sad that we do not have more to watch.
I almost wish that I had waited to draw my drawings that I had included within the intro of this episode until now, because I don't want to be done.
I need you to draw the Mai Sakurajima with the police chief outfit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And there's a lot of characters I didn't necessarily get the chance to draw, but kind of already having spent so much time drawing the characters within the series, and now for the time being it's over, I'm like, maybe I need to do more fan art. Like, I don't want to be done with these characters.
It's a really important series to me. I love the characters in the series so much.
Do you have a prediction for if you were to pick a costume that another female character could be wearing that would shape the identity of the next installment within the Rascal Does Not Dream series?
And Curious George Yellowman jacket. It's
not you like even I've went with a specific character.
But like a random thought that just came into my head.
I do like the idea of Shoko but coming up again.
Yeah. I think that, though, it's a great question. Like, I'd love to see, like, Kunimi in a couple of different, like outfits as well. Just because I miss Kunimi. It was great to see him. I'm really glad that we got a little bit of Kunimi here. But I don't know.
We don't know if Kasai is going to get into his university of choice and going to be able to ask Futaba out again. And didn't Futaba have a dream of going on a date basically with Kunimi?
I'd love to see Futaba in some like okay, we've seen like science outfits, right? But
yeah, like a researcher, a scientist.
Yeah, what's something else?
I'm talking like, don't even think about the character wearing the costume. Like, we have the idea of, oh, you get police chief, firefighter, bunny girl, Santa Claus. Like, what's another, like, you go to a party store or costume store for Halloween and you were like, what are the girls gonna be wearing? Possibly.
Mothman.
I would dream of that. I should stop picking the character that's wearing it. It's probably going to be someone we don't know.
So you're just saying, like, what costume entity could be the next series?
Yes.
Like, if it isn't Santa Claus, if it isn't
Rascal
Bunny
does
Girl.
not dream of Mothman.
No, Mothman would be good. It doesn't make enough sense.
Doesn't make enough sense?
No.
Santa Claus made a lot of sense. I mean, obviously, in hindsight, it makes a lot of sense.
A witch.
A witch. Ooh, I like the idea of a witch.
I think a witch
cute.
is more grounded and would make more sense.
Maybe a vampire?
A vampire would be pretty good.
Oh, well, we already had petite demon, so it wouldn't be like a demon.
Yeah.
And then that would be like scary, like your whole conversation.
We've already had like nurse, technically.
We've already had nurse. You're so right.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with witch.
I like witch. I'm gonna go with that too. I'm gonna take your answer. I'm gonna steal your answer.
I'm thinking like Soul Eater. You know?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what we expect next is Rascal does not dream of
What if it's
witch.
like a knight? Like more like Renaissance, you know?
Like a princess.
A princess.
Oh,
a princess, yeah, or a knight. That would be good.
Okay. I like it.
Or a nun.
Or a nun. Rascal does not dream of a nun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. You good?
Uh-huh.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And we hope to see you next time.